Good morning, supers. Welcome to the EntrepreNEWS for November 11th, 2021. Happy Veterans Day, and thank you to all veterans out there. We got Evergrande again pulls a Neo and dodges a bullet. Elon Musk sells Tesla stock, Starbucks, and the Holocaust. Zillow finds a buyer, and finally is inflation here to stay. I can't talk this morning. I don't know what's going on. All right, so Evergrande dodges default again. A Reuters source said Thursday, November 11th, that some bondholders received overdue payments at the last minute. That's the third time in the last month that the ailing developer has developed and narrowly avoided a default. The world's most indebted property firm has over $300 billion in liabilities. We've been following it here on the EntrepreNEWS day in and day out. We don't want to see that go under because we don't want to feel the effects, not only for the people of China, but also literally for the world economy. It will not be a good scenario, and will push a lot of things back. Recovery stuff back in the meantime. So yeah, we definitely don't want to see that happen if we can avoid it. Now, speaking of avoid, there is much ado, I should say, about inflation and everything. Now, if you've been watching the EntrepreNEWS for the last while now, it's pretty apparent that inflation is a problem. It likely is here to stay in the medium to potentially long term and medium. I'm going to say at least 6 months, we might start to see signs of things start to pull back and not be so inflated. But so I'm not going to run through all the numbers. I'll link all that down below. But what I wanted to point out was I took in a bunch of resources, different things, and looking at where we are and where we're heading, it definitely it's funny. Like here we are. Like Kudlow says, high gas prices. The solution is to drill. I can literally go over to CNN. It says U.S. oil companies are in no rush to solve Biden's gas price problem and not drill, because they were burned back in the 2010s. When oil was going out of control, and we drilled and were able to get the price to come back down. Now, I don't want to say that price gouging is absolutely going on in every single sector, but if you've been paying attention, obviously things have gotten out of control in some sectors. In the beginning, inflation was being run up through used cars because people couldn't get new cars. And even one of my friends that works at a Mercedes dealership, I want to say he or someone at the dealership sold a G-Wagon, which I'm not a fan of personally, but they sold a G-Wagon, I want to say for $40,000 over MSRP for that vehicle, which goes to show, I mean, that's just on that. Obviously, that's a high-priced, high-luxury item, but even, pickup trucks and things of that nature have sold for like $10,000 more. Farm equipment is going through the roof. We've covered that here on the EntrepreNEWS, and there's just so many things that are it's kind of all over the place as far as what's the next thing that's going to go up in price. I mean, we saw it with toilet paper. Production could, toilet paper is fine, everything's cool. We can switch over any paper, product to be able to make toilet paper. It doesn't have to be this way. But we saw it for what seemed like forever for people to be able to get toilet paper, and people were scalping the heck out of it in the meantime. And we see it with the chip shortage, the silicon shortage, with gaming graphic processing cards, right? Video graphics cards, and the price. The thing is the MSRP on those have actually increased to basically meet or exceed where the scalpers were already pushing the price. So people were buying up as many as they possibly could, scalping them on the internet, making obscene amounts of money, $300, $400, $500 over what MSRP for the card would already be. And what's happened is MSRP is now pushed up to meet that level of what the scalpers were selling it for. So this isn't a singular issue, but I do want to point out that while grocery prices have gone up, the increase here shows orange juice 18 cents, eggs 19 cents, turkey 16 cents, the average. It's the who was it the other day? Chicken wings were coming down or starting to come down in price. I very much see inflation start to be kind of cascading or leveled off by probably about February, because I think that we're still going to have people that are going to be looking to buy. I mean, we've all seen the images of people on wearing American flags on jet skis, saying they're going shopping, at the ports, and getting their Black Friday deals over at the ports. But when you combine all of the different factors of things that are creating pressure in the market, it's just inevitable. And people have the money and they are spending the money. If people weren't spending the money, then this wouldn't be a problem. So obviously, as long as people actually have the money and continue to spend that money, we're not going to see it come down. And I think people will continue to push through into January with the spending habits, maybe February into March, because kind of like a hangover from Christmas of people trying to get the things that they want to get. And of course, I turn on the news today and they're like, well, look, if you can find the thing that you want, buy it now because it might not be there tomorrow. With that said, we've done all of our Christmas shopping now, and I reported on the EntrepreNEWS before about how what was it? One of the makeup companies, L'Oreal or whatever, they've already shipped out their whole, pretty much all of their holiday stock. So when that's gone, it's gone. Effectively, I guess in order for them to be able to manufacture more, there just probably isn't enough time to manufacture it in amounts that are needed to get it out to stores. And the shipping lanes are all clogged with a shortage in truck drivers and shortage in delivery drivers and just everything. And I would also say that part of this kind of plays into the hand of people were cooped up for a long time in their houses, for effectively a minimum of a year, even in places like Florida, close to a year. So this is all kind of pent up demand as well, along with having a bunch of extra money to spend and not afraid to spend extra for the things that they want and or need as we come into the holiday season. And with all that said, a lot of these companies that have their that are quote unquote having labor shortages and things have hit record revenue for the year, for record revenue for the company this year and or last year. So the money is coming to those companies, and I think that it's just a matter of the money starting to to kind of work its way through the system, and hopefully, like I said, by March we will have leveled off and become starting to come back down. And you see it with certain items, kind of bouncing back and forth. Even here on this chart, you see like eggs kind of bouncing off of a high there, as well as chicken coming off of a high. So We will continue to monitor it. I would say don't panic. Buy what you need to buy, and just do make sure that you're living within your means, so that you're not too overextended and able to take advantage of opportunities that come down the pike. And one last thing I wanted to point out here about inflation is in the UK economic growth slows as supply problems hit the recovery. Supply problems are a problem in many, many, many fronts, and they affect every other front. And I think that nobody at the end of the day has a crystal ball to see exactly what's going to happen. But you know that's why we have to not panic. We're not. This is not hyperinflation, and we're not on a runaway train just yet. And the potential for us to fix gas. Okay, we fix gas, but isn't necessarily gonna fix all the other shortages that we have. So it's all relationary, and we just hope hang on, and hopefully we will get to a point where things start to level off, hopefully by February, and start coming down by March. We will continue to watch that here on the EntrepreNEWS, just like we've been watching. Zillow sells the homes that they had, shutting down its house flipping business. This article says that they reached a deal to sell 2,000 homes from its ill-fated house flipping program, the company's biggest bulk sale, as it starts unloading thousands of houses and terminates the business. As talked about before, it's not the end of the world for the house flipping or real estate industry, just yet. In fact, as supply issues continue to still be a thing, housing rates will probably still stay steady, just because it's harder to build new houses when you can't get materials and or the labor to do so. And so I think this is pretty much a drop in the bucket at the end of the day, and we will continue to monitor that. As well as Starbucks. We talked about this before on the EntrepreNEWS. Starbucks trying to not unionize. A former Starbucks CEO used the Holocaust analogy to describe the coffee's company's mission. And basically, where's it at? Not everyone, quote, not everyone, but most people shared their blanket with 5 other people, end quote, Schultz said. So much of that story is threaded into what we've tried to do at Starbucks, is share our blanket. I can understand where the analogy comes from. Schultz is Jewish, but I don't know that it was. I don't know if it's the right thing to say when you're trying to keep things the way that they are when so many of your employees are unhappy. So we will see. We'll be tracking to see if Starbucks winds up unionizing here in the future here on the EntrepreNEWS. And finally today, Elon Musk sells nearly $5 billion of Tesla stock. Now, I'm not 100% sure, because I did see this morning scrolling on Fox 29 here in Philly, that they said that he had only sold 1.1 billion. Oh, okay. Those sales amount to more than 930,000 shares worth over 1.1 billion. So is it okay? So Tesla CEO Elon Musk sold nearly 5 billion in Tesla stock, according to financial filings out Wednesday evening. He still holds more than 166 million shares. His trust sold more than 3.5 million shares worth over 3.88 billion. So that's where the total comes to 5 billion. So yeah, earlier Wednesday is selling separate block of Tesla shares via a plan that he set in motion on September 14th this year. Those amount to the 1.1 million. So yeah, he decided. I guess he had decided back in September that he was going to sell some of his shares, and then just sold a bit more, or quite a bit more. Yeah, I is it good? Well, I mean, let's see. Is Tesla stock? It doesn't show Tesla's current price, but we'll look it up real quick. We're at $1,072. So I mean, it hasn't. I mean, it's taken a dip. I mean, maybe tweeting about it wasn't the best move right before, but maybe at the same time, I do kind of think that uh, when he went to sell, he didn't want people thinking that the price of Hertz buying in 100, was it 100,000 vehicles, that was being priced into the stock, and then him selling, and then triggering a an investigation into him and the rest of the company. So anyway, that completes the EntrepreNEWS for today. Tomorrow, come back because we have Shark Tank season 13, episode 5 or 6, where I will have all 4 pitches starting posting between 9 p.m. Eastern and 11 p.m. Eastern. So make sure you come back to the channel for that. Until then, I hope you have an amazing day. Take care.